Meadows, Books and Cafe. They are good. Are fine.
Yeah.
And Diana is a prospective member, and she's from the Green Mountain Habitat for Humanity. So they are considering a business membership. So this is first time she's fresh off of vacation and lives in Grand Island.
I do live in Grand Island.
Yeah, so she and Dave are gonna carpool.
Yeah.
And before she picks Dave up, they're gonna walk his dogs. So anyway, they've got this all worked out. So that is a heck of a commute. It really is.
It was an early morning today.
Yeah, but a beautiful morning this morning driving in, I'm sure. So welcome.
Thank you
Very much, Diana, and everybody. I hope you have a chance to.
Hey, Chris.
Oh, yes, I do see my
The
microphone.
mic is right there.
It's right in front of me. Thank you. I do. Is it on? Yes, it is. I have to be reminded of these things. I apologize. Like I said, we have a very full day. We're gonna start with Rick and Jerry with a song so they can get themselves ready. We have two new members to induct, excuse me, Deborah Fay and Mike Artist. And then we're gonna have a classification talk from McKew. So, and if there's time, we have a lot of different announcements to make from club members. So, for those of you who want to make an announcement, just raise your hand. So we make sure we get that in. And of course, we have to collect some money. And we're very excited to hear what, Nick's really good jokes are today. Because I shortchanged him last week. So, everybody be ready. All right. So why don't we start, first with the four-way test, which we have in front of you. If you could stand, we'll recite that and then we'll move into the song. The four-way test of the things we think, say, or do first. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and benefit? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you. All right, I think I'm gonna turn this mic over to Rick.
Thank you, Chris. As I said last month, I was planning and still am planning to focus on American folk music for our song choices. And as you may recall, last month we sang the song Yankee Doodle, which is actually a song that was popular during the Revolutionary War. Today, I've selected a song that is popular or was popular during the Civil War. It's the Battle Hymn of the Republic. It's a song that was written, at least the words were written by an abolitionist named Julia Ward Howe. And she had taken this from a tune that had been around since the 1700s. And this was kind of common during that time period where you would hear a tune and then you'd like it and then you'd write words to it. And then someone else would take that same tune and write words to it. But this is certainly one that's become very popular over the years. And it was, as I said, an old folk hymn song, and the original name of it, the tune was Say Brother, Will You Meet Us? And it was sung at revivalist meetings in the 1700s. Another name for that same song was John Brown's Body. It inspired, Julia Howe was inspired by this march, hearing it as the Civil War unfolded, and she wrote her own verses that framed the Union effort as a holy crusade against the sin of slavery. She sold the poem to the Atlantic Monthly for $4, and it was published in 1862. It quickly became a popular Union anthem. The song includes some powerful biblical imagery and a very strong anti-slavery message. If anyone feels uncomfortable because of the religious nature of the song, please feel free to just listen or perhaps hum the song. We'll be singing just 3 verses. And if you go online, you can find a whole bunch of different verses. So Jerry and I actually picked different verses, and I think we're on the same page now.
I hope so.
I hope. There are, as I said, four verses, at least the version I picked. We're only gonna sing three. There's a couple lines I want to mention. In verse 3, there's a line that refers to the burnished rows of steel. And that refers to a long line of muskets for someone looking at a group of Union soldiers. And there's another line that Jerry's scratching his head. And it says, "As ye deal with my contemners." This refers to those who oppose God or practice evil, such as slavery. There's in the fourth verse, perhaps the most profound line, which again, we're not singing that verse, but it highlights its abolitionist core. And it quote says, "As he died to make men holy, let us die to make men free." And the song, of course, has transcended its Civil War origins, and it's been adapted by various movements, including suffragist movements, labor strikers, and civil rights activists. Today, it remains a staple at various patriotic gatherings, state funerals, and national memorials. And again, finally, I want to thank Jerry for providing the instrumentation for this song and leading us in the song. Jerry, all yours.
Oh, well, he told me about this. I looked it up and I printed 2 pages of lyrics and none of the last 2 verses were in any of the lyrics. So this song is really been sung quite a bit.
Do you want us to stand?
Revised. No, well,
It's easy.
okay. I can't stand it sitting. I have to.
If you're able, stand. Only if you're able.
Just sit. Thanks, Charlie. Charlie wanted me to bring it up a little bit, so I brought it up after Charlie. Mine eyes have seen the glory of scrambling out the vintage where the graves of wrath are stored. He has loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible sword. His smooth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. I've seen them in the watchtowers of 100 circling camps. They have builded him an altar in the evening dinners and dance. I have read his righteous sentence by the dim and flaring lamps. His head is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. This one's a little tough. I read the fiery gospel written burnished rose of steel. As he deal with my contenders, so my grace shall feel. That the hero born of one and crushed the earthly with his heels. His God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. His truth is marching on.
We do this format, this meeting format, we have once a month. Usually it's the last meeting of the month. So, yeah, and that's when we sit. So, yeah, good. That's wonderful. I didn't ask Debbie, do we have anybody joining online? We have
Jacob and Phil.
John and Phil, welcome. I hope you were in good voice this morning. We are now going to induct 2 new members. So if Deborah and Michael would come up, and Tracy, and is there anyone else that should be up here? Tracy is their sponsor, so she has a bag of goodies. And I have a script that I will work from because this is the first time I've inducted any new members. So,
Where do you want us?
right here is good. Kel's taking your picture. Tracy, do you have space? Okay. So I apologize. I don't have this committed to memory. I will be reading. All right. Fellow Rotarians, it is the duty of our Rotary Club to add new members from time to time so that we may not only increase our usefulness and influence as a club, but also to extend the spirit of Rotary throughout our community. Today, we welcome to our ranks and admit to membership Deborah Fay and Mike Artist. Deborah and Mike, you have been elected to membership in this club because your fellow members believe that you are worthy representatives of your calling and because you possess qualities that will permit you to exemplify the true spirit of Rotary in your public, business, social, and private lives. We wish to impress upon you that you have been admitted not only to the Rotary Club of Williston-Richmond, but to a worldwide association. And by virtue of your membership in this club, you will be welcome into the fellowship of any Rotary Club in the world. So when you go down to Florida and you're in Melbourne, I would guess they have at least one Rotary Club. So you will be welcome there. When you're snowbirding down south. We wish to impress upon you that you have been admitted not only, there we go. The honor and privilege of Rotary membership carries with it certain duties and obligations. We expect you will regularly attend club meetings in person, online, or at another Rotary location. Join club committees so that you always remain engaged. And if I'm right, Mike, you're serving on the service committee and International Service Committee. Oh, you just walked in. We can't miss you, Leslie. Sorry. It's okay. A cheer. That you will also perform your share of club service and place your knowledge and talents at the disposal of the club in its task of carrying the principles of Rotary into the daily life of the community. We encourage you to involve your family and friends in all our activities as well. We look forward to your leadership and your service. We believe you are a great fit for our club. Okay, this is where Tracy, the sponsor, starts getting involved. First of all, if you're able, could I ask all Rotarians to rise? This is the solemn part of the ceremony, I guess. Mike and Deborah, in the name of the Rotary Club of Williston-Richmond, we now formally admit you to membership in this club with this name tag or name badge, Rotary pin. What else? Other goodies do you have, Tracy?
Merch.
We love merch. You don't have to pin it on them. It's a little complicated.
I would thank you.
Okay. And a Rotary hat. And they have their pins. Great. Oh, you guys look really good. I hope somebody's taking a picture. I would like to add that Mike and Deborah both have been loaned. I've never heard that expression before. Loaned, I guess, while you're part of Rotary, the classification of retired FAA. So, Armand, you have fellow air traffic control people.
Right, we're outnumbering the lawyers now.
Maybe not the doctors, but yeah. Anyway, we welcome you. Thank you so much. Would you like to say anything briefly? No?
No.
Congratulations. Thank you. All right, you get to sit down. Welcome to the membership of this club. Yeah, retired FAA is there. Their ball. Those yellow hats can't be missed. I'm really excited today to introduce McKew Devitt, who has agreed to give the classification talk. How long have you been a member of the club, McKew? Not even a year yet.
Not a year yet.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And I've asked him to take some time to sort of talk about his background, his growing up, his career, and we'll have time for questions and answers because I know some of his early work and early experiences have influenced his participation on the International Service Committee, and I hope he shares that aspect as well. So the mic is yours and the podium.
And the uninterrupted time. This is so nice. As a father of four, I really appreciate these moments. Dad. This morning, actually, I woke up and there were two post-it notes with dad, point and an arrow, another one, dad. And then the third one had the actual message. Wake me up at 6 o'clock because, you know, I've got to get to school on time. So yeah, thank you, Chris. Really appreciate it. That was my first induction ceremony, or witnessing the first induction ceremony as well. So now I'm not the newbie anymore. So this is wonderful. And yeah, thank you all so much for giving me the opportunity to talk a little bit about myself. I think you all know a little bit about me, but I'm going to repeat a couple of things. I'm going to get Debbie the day off here. I don't have a presentation, so just sit back and enjoy. But I do want to talk about the four questions that we recite at the beginning of our meeting. And I have a poem that I want to share with you all. I'm following the example of Lori, who's not here today. Lori, who works in the library, she read a poem at one of our meetings, and I am following her example. So first, just a little bit about myself. 5 things you don't really need to know about me. First thing, my name, McKew. What the heck is that all about? And plus, I'm a Spanish teacher. So the first day of Spanish class, I'm like, yeah, it's McKew. You know, it's not Mario or Miguel, you know, it's McKew. So I'm one of 5, and I'm the 4th in line, and all of my siblings before me had names to start with M. So I had Mary, was my oldest sister. We all called her Mia. And then there was Megan, and then there was Mark, and then came me. And you know, you can all think of Matthew, Michael, plenty of M names, you know, but they were stumped. And it was my sister Megan who came up with my name, and she came up with McKew somehow. And so my mom really loved Kew Gardens in London, so she came up with the spelling MC capital K EW for Kew Gardens. So so that's my name. Another thing, just how old are you, McKew? Because I do have, you know, quite a bit of white hair, and but I'm 52 years old. So I don't know how many other people are in their 50s. Okay, good, got one. So you and I. And so yeah, 52. Was born in 1974. Important year. Nixon resigned. So fun thing to do. You can go online and go to the Billboard charts to see what are the top 10 songs, you know, on the week you were born. And so I was like, wow, this is great. I'm a musician as well as Jerry and Rick. And I was like, maybe I can play some of these songs, you know. And I looked, and it was Ringo Starr had the #1 hit at the week I was born, January 25th. And it was year 16. So I was like, oh, that's not aged well. That's so I'm gonna leave that one out, my repertoire. So yeah, I do play music. Performing tonight, actually at Stone Corral, if you don't have anything to do. It's from 7 to 9. I sing and play guitar. So what else about me? Where am I from? I'm from Montgomery, New York. It's a small town in Orange County. It's near, I always say, West Point or New Paltz. And yeah, I moved away at the age of 18 to live in Spain as an exchange student. I never really moved back to Montgomery. So as many of you know, I was an exchange student through the Rotary program in my hometown. It was Williston Rotary, the next town over. And I lived in Bilbao, Spain, which is in the northern part of Spain. It's famous now for the Guggenheim Museum. When I lived there, there was no Guggenheim Museum. It was 1992, 1993, and it was basically a post-industrial city. There were no tourists. I was one of the few English speakers walking around the city. And so that was an amazing experience. And then the family I ended up living with was phenomenal. And they have a terrace that overlooks the river, which smelled really bad at the time. And beyond the river was the land where they actually decided to build the Guggenheim. So they have a front row view of Frank Gehry's incredible museum. And I returned many times over the year and saw the construction in 1996, and then it was completed in like 2000. So that's been a really special thing for me to witness. So that's about it for personal things. You guys have some questions at the end. You have time to ask me any questions. Oh, okay, Jerry. Okay.
Is Guggenheim related to the museum in New York
It
City?
is. Yeah, it's the same family, the Guggenheim, or the same, corporation that has the Guggenheim in New York City, which was signed by Frank Lloyd Wright.
Right.
And then this one in Bilbao. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
which was an interesting choice for the
Yeah.
Guggenheim to choose this Bilbao. It's kind of random, but
Okay.
it's worked out. Yeah, Google it when you get a chance and check out what the design looks like.
Did you learn to speak Basque as well as?
Very little, very little. So you all know how to say thank you in Spanish, right? Muy bien, gracias. In Basque language, which is the local language of the Basque country, which is as old as Latin, if not older, they say eskerrik asko for thank you. Eskerrik asko.
Wow.
So yeah, you recognize some Basque last names. They're very, very unique. Powell, for example, is a golfer from the Basque region. That's the only one I can think of right now. But yeah, any more questions? I do have the poem I do want to share. How are we doing on time, Chris?
No, you're
We're
fine.
good. Okay, I did not memorize it, so I was thinking of memorizing it, but
You've got
okay.
a lot of time to talk about what you're doing now. and-
Oh, yeah. Well, yes, that's good. I could also talk about, my career. I do teach Spanish at the University of Vermont. I've been there now for 23 years. I started in 2004 after meeting the woman who hired me on the long trail. She was hiking with her husband outside of Middlebury. They were doing a couple days on the long trail, and I was doing a through hike. I started in the north and headed south, and we just started chatting. They had taken up the whole lean-to when I showed up, and they said, "Oh, we'll make room. We'll make room." But I was heading on to the next lean-to down the trail. But we just started chatting, and we found out we both studied in Spain at the same program in Madrid, and we both taught Spanish. She said she worked at UVM. I had not even heard of UVM at the time. So when I got back home, I was living in Albany doing my PhD work at SUNY Albany. And I looked online and saw they were hiring, so called her up. And we did a phone interview, and I was hired. So I've been there since 2004. I'm an adjunct professor, so that means that I teach 4 classes per semester, so 4 and 4. And I teach from beginning Spanish with students who have no experience speaking Spanish up to Spanish literature. And so this semester, for example, I'm teaching 2 of those beginning classes. And one great thing that we do, there's a program called COIL, which is Collaborative Online International Learning. And I've collaborated with a university in Ecuador. And these beginning students, Spanish students, they have the opportunity to speak with native speakers from Ecuador, and they exchange their English with their Spanish. So an hour-long meeting over the course of the semester, they'll meet about 6 times, and they'll speak English to them and teach them phrases and culture about the United States. And then the Ecuadorian students will do the same in Spanish. So it's a really wonderful program for my beginning students. And then the literature courses, so I teach, Cervantes. You all know Cervantes. You might know Garcia Lorca, Garcia Marquez, a lot of Spanish writers. And that's really one of the things that I grew up appreciating was literature. I started reading poetry, like 4th grade, I would say. I had a teacher, his name was Mr. Angermeyer. Not a great last name, but he was an amazing teacher and really inspired me. He would read us poems by Robert Frost, and I have a poem by Frost today I want to share with you all. And from then on, I just have always used poetry to to think about life and you know, things that are part of my life. So, Howard?
Thank you. I brought up the picture.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, so Jared, you see that?
We had talked about an international project.
Yep.
I wonder if you would share some of
Of course. Yeah, so I've done two international projects. The first one I did, I was roped in by a colleague of mine in the environmental studies program, John Erickson. He was doing work in the Dominican Republic, and he took a Spanish class with me to kind of prepare him for these courses he was leading. And then he convinced me that I should be part of this program. So it's basically a lot of what Rotary does. We raised money here in the States. One year, it was Valentine's Day. I got a bunch of roses, and we sold roses to students in front of the library, and it was a blizzard. So, yeah, that was fun. But we would raise a lot of money and then bring the funds down to this Batey community. Batey is a community that was built by Dominican companies that grew rice. And they would create these bateys where Haitian immigrants would come and live in the Dominican Republic just during harvest time or during the season, and then they would be sent back to Haiti. Over the years, Haitians decided to stick around and stay in these communities. And so it was a really great experience for the students and for me to see how Dominicans and Haitians interact in these communities. You know, the companies no longer exist, but these communities are still around. So, and we would build houses with the money we raised. We would build houses for families every year. So that was the Dominican Republic. And the other thing that I've done with students in the past is not really service learning. It's more of a cultural experience. Is lead students on the Camino de Santiago, which is the Way of St. James. You might have heard about it. It's a pilgrimage. It started in
I think some people here have done that.
Yeah, they have, yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Armand,
Yeah, Armand and
And Dan.
Leslie.
where did you all start from?
We started from St. John,
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's the
to finish there in Lucia.
Where did
nice.
you
That's
start
great.
from, Dan? Deborah, where did you?
Oh,
go?
we're sorry, we only
Yeah.
did the 5-day one.
Yeah, so our, yeah,
I still cried on the third day. That's my break day.
so my father and I first did it in 1993 when I was just finishing up in Bilbao, and because my host father had done it on horseback with a group of friends, and so he inspired me to do the Camino as well. So I hiked it with my father from Logroño. I don't know if you remember Logroño. It's part of Rioja, which is a famous wine region. And then I went back and did it with my younger brother, Eddie, who is not an M name, by the way. He's named after my father. And we didn't start in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port. We started in Roncesvalles, which is the next town beyond the Pyrenees. So we left out that climb. I hear so much about the terrible climb that you
It
have
was
to do.
wonderful.
Up over the Pyrenees, yeah.
Missed a great part.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, all right. I'll have to get back and do that part then. So I would lead students from León, which is about 170 miles, I believe, from Santiago, which is the goal. Santiago is St. James in Spanish. And so, yeah, students, some would cry for sure. You know, it was a pretty rough experience for some students. But overall, it was just an amazing experience. So I did that 2 years through UVM. Okay, so let me get to my poem here that I want to share. And so, by the way, I'm really enjoying this magazine. You guys will see this as well, the Rotary magazine. It's got Barcelona on the cover, which is an amazing city in Spain. This is the Sagrada Familia is the name of this cathedral in Barcelona that's just being finished up after over 100 years. Gaudí, the architect, started it a very long time ago. Barcelona, though, very, very controversial place to visit, unfortunately. A lot of locals are thinking that there's too much tourism in the city, and some have actually gotten water guns and they kind of spray.
going to visit their city, but it is a wonderful and beautiful city. But anyway, I bring this magazine today because there is an article about, it's a short article about the four-way test, and it gives you a little background about where that all started. And when I come to the meeting and recite the four-way test, first off, I'm reminded of my Catholic upbringing of like saying prayers kind of by memory over and over again. And thinking about when we say these things, are we really thinking about them? And this poem really kind of came back to me as we recite these four-way test questions. This poem really speaks a lot to that idea. So it's called Mending Wall by Robert Frost. Has anybody heard of this poem? Right, a lot of people have heard this poem. It appeared in his book North of Boston in 1914. So with poetry, it's wonderful just to listen without having to read. So I'm going to recite it to you all, and then I do have copies if you'd like to bring a copy home with you. So here it goes. Something there is that doesn't level wall, that sends the frozen groundswell under it and spills the upper boulders in the sun. It makes gaps, even two can pass abreast. The work of hunters is another thing. I have come after them and made repair where they have left not one stone on a stone, but they would have the rabbit out of hiding to please the yelping dogs. The gaps I mean, no one has seen them made or heard them made, but at spring mending time we find them there. I let my neighbor know beyond the hill, and on the day we meet to walk the line and set the wall between us once again. We keep the wall between us as we go, to each the boulders that have fallen to each, and some are loaves, and some are so nearly balls we have to use a spell to make them balance. Stop where you are until our backs are turned. We wear our fingers rough with handling them. Oh, just another kind of outdoor game, one on a side. It comes to little more. There where it is, we do not need the wall. He is all pine, and I am apple orchard. My apple trees will never get across and eat the cones under his pines, I tell him. He only says, good fences make good neighbors. Spring is the mischief in me, and I wonder if I could put a notion in his head. Why do they make good neighbors? Isn't it where there are cows? But here there are no cows. Before I built a wall, I'd ask in or walling out, and to whom I was like to give offense. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that wants it down. I could say elves to him, but it's not elves exactly, and I'd rather he said it for himself. I see him there, bringing a stone grasped firmly by the top in each hand, like an old stone savage armed. He moves in darkness, as it seems to me, not of woods only, and the shade of trees. He will not go behind his father's saying, and he likes having thought of it so well. He says again, good fences make good neighbors. So yeah, the reason I picked this poem to share with you all today is because it asks, the meaning behind this phrase that his neighbor repeats without really thinking, And so when we have this four-way test, and we're saying, is it the truth? Right? Is this really the thing? Like, should we have this stone wall between us? And Frost is ambiguous about it. He doesn't say, come out and say, I don't like walls, right? He says something there is that doesn't love a wall. There's no subject in there. There's something, right? It's not me or we, right? So I just wanted to share that all with you today, and open up for questions if anybody has any additional questions.
We have a few minutes for questions. Are there any additional?
I just have a quick comment.
Yes.
I just said, Jason, you're such a professor.
Well, please don't go to rate my professors.
Yeah, they get evaluated a lot.
Yes.
Deborah has a question.
Do you teach literature in Spanish or?
Yes, it's in Spanish. So my next classification, I promise I will bring a Spanish poem in Spanish. Yes, Sally.
And of course, I have to make the comment that you have been such an asset at the food shelf. We have a number of customers potentially undocumented, I'm not sure. But when McKew is there, he not only can help them answer my questions, but he engages them. And there's nothing more respectful than being able to talk to someone in their own language. And I understand enough to know that he's discussing with them where they're from, maybe about their families. You can see the light in their faces when he talks to them. So I am so grateful that you come to the.
Thank you. And that's the wonderful thing about the Rotary. I wouldn't have met you if not through the Rotary, and your work with the food shelf is amazing. So thank you, Sally.
All right, well, maybe you can catch McKew afterwards if you have any other questions or comments for him. Before we do fines, we have some announcements. And I want to give, Leslie, you have a question?
Well, actually, I just realized we really didn't applaud McKew.
Well, let's do that. We threw a lot of kudos in his direction. So we have a couple of announcements. Elizabeth, I think Elizabeth, you have one. Okay. Why don't we do you?
So on September 15th at 5:30 p.m., we are having our first official social of the season at Wild Meadows. Thank you, Susan, for hosting us. And this is an opportunity for us all to get together and socialize. There's going to be food and drinks. If you haven't been there yet, they have an amazing array, as we got a little sampling of today. Thank you for the treats. And this is also an opportunity for us to bring people who are potentially interested in being Rotarians. So I have a sign-up sheet here so we can get an estimate of how many people are coming. So Wild Meadows can be prepared for us. And there are a few columns on here. So the first one, well, your names are here in alphabetical order. And the first column is, are you attending? Yes or no? Then bringing your family, your spouse, or whoever, how many of those are you going to bring? And then the third column here is bringing prospective members. So these are any guests you think that might make a good Rotarian partner. And if you know their names, put them on there. If you just have an approximate number of how many you might bring, put that on there. And you don't have to know right now, but be thinking about this. We'll pass this around again next week. And then the total number of people that are going to attend, thanks to you, so we can get a good idea and soon be prepared. So I'm going to pass this around and please fill it in. We'll do it again next week. And if you don't put it in, you're going to get a phone call. And you have to answer because it'll be from me.
We really appreciate what Susan and Rick are doing because it starts at 5:30, goes to 7. And we will have, for the most part, we will have the store to ourselves, I think. Is that correct? Yeah. So we really appreciate you doing this, but just for planning purposes, for staffing, etc. If you haven't been there, they've got a wonderful menu, so you could easily eat your dinner there. So please think about coming. And again, so Susan and Rick can plan. There's a lot that goes into this, probably that we are not aware of. I'm going to pass around a thank you note from Ariel, excuse me. I've received this about 2 weeks back and I just found it again. So she appreciated her time here. She did stay late and meet with the Interact group to share her knowledge about that. I don't know how thoroughly we all read the announcements, but you will see a reoccurring one. On November 14th, there's a District Fall Regional Learning Seminar. There'll be more information. I will keep posting that. And I will continue to share this information. I received an email from Eric Wells late last night. He said Williston Fire will be hosting the annual 9/11 Remembrance on Friday, September 11th at the station, likely at 9:30 or so. More information will be coming. I had lost track of how many years ago that happened. It's 25 years this year. And there are apparently a ceremony, an event around that. And he would specifically like extend an invitation to Rotarians to attend. So I will continue to offer, share that information as it comes in. Nick finds in just a minute. This is what happens when you get up at 4:30 in the morning. It's like, okay, I need more coffee. I have been wanting to share this with you for some time. Credit for this goes to Jen Kennedy. Hold on. I'd like you to pass this around so everybody just send it around. So what this is we're going to try something different to record your service hours. And this is service. We talked about the food shelf. So McKew, this is, we do service outside of this organization. We do service as a club. We do service within the club when we serve on committees, etc. But what we really want to do is capture those hours of service. For many years, it was a sheet when you walked in, and some people remembered to sign up. I often didn't because I knew there was something else I needed to do, so I kind of forgot about that. So we're going to try this, and we're going to collect these at the end of this meeting, and I'll keep them. We have a couple of people like Tracy and others who have volunteered to help coordinate this, but I wanted to kick it off. Early on, I talked about service above self, and that Rotary's motto obviously is that service above self. And Rotary has 5 different areas of service. This is what they call vocational service, where they encourage members to serve others through their experience, their careers, their skill sets. So to take that out in the community and, mentor a child, or work at the food shelf, or serve as a guardian ad litem, and I know there are many ways that you all serve, help out at Habitat for Humanity. And we will be doing more of those things. We just want to capture this. And so we're going to do this at every assembly. And if we can, while Nick is doing the fines, if you have a pen, just if you wouldn't mind filling this out, your name and what month it is. It's August, the end of August, and particularly the top, what organization you serve outside. You may be on a variety of, serve in a variety of different ways. I happen to mentor a young lady at CVU. And then anything that you do inside the club. And if you need some ideas or some examples or some prompts, it's on the back. So we'll take it. We'll try to institute this. Jen, I know this is your sort of brainchild, your baby, your design. Is there anything more you would like to say? Did I get it right?
You got it right. Thank you. First, I would say, as we continue to use this, it can be, there's no ownership on this. It can be changed in any way that people have better ideas. I will say that under team, the reason it says team there is because I did this last year when we were calling our groups teams. That would be committee now. That's what that means. So it's just a change in the verbiage there. But any suggestions that people have, obviously this can be changed, but we're just trying it to get more close to 100% of reporting. It will never be 100%, but this club offers a lot to this community and around. And it's members. And it's important to be able to actually tabulate that and share that with people. And International actually does also like to know, they keep track of what they're doing, and we need to keep track of what we're doing. And I hope it works.
So thank you for trying yet again, one more new thing. Your heads are probably spinning, but yes, Nick, and I'm going to hand this over to you as well.
So I know we haven't been doing this for the last few months. Does this apply only for August, or can it be back?
Let's start in August.
6 months worth.
Let's start this August.
Okay.
That'd be great.
It's for an entire month.
For an entire month.
Okay.
So look back in August and September. You'll get this again. Look back in September. And just, again, we're trying to get a sense of what we do, how we serve as individuals in our community. We have a pretty good record of what we do here in our club, for our club, and the service we perform as an organization. But we don't know what else you do. And you all serve in many different ways. And we're interested in that. We haven't actively pursued grants in this club, but this would certainly help. This kind of data is always helpful when you apply for a grant. So do the best you can. And Nick's going to, Tracy has a question, and I know you put down that you're going to help manage this on the website. Tabulate. She's going to tabulate.
Me first, Leslie. Absolutely. I'm just curious where it says the team time. Do we write down the 1 hour that we spent, even though it was a meeting where we met as a team?
For your
For
team, yes,
Mhm.
but not your weekly meeting. And I only say
Okay.
not
This
so
meeting, yeah.
definitively because
Yeah.
Rotary's guidelines on doing this do not count their weekly meetings as something extra.
Yeah.
We all
Right, it's just the
know that.
team's meeting, because we used to do it
The committee,
outside.
yeah,
But now
committee.
the- But the committee time, yes.
Yeah, your committee time. All right, Leslie, and
Very
Leslie will be the last.
Very quickly, but very important. One of our young adults is turning 90 this week. So there is a birthday celebration on Saturday from 2 to 5 in this very room so that we can celebrate the young man, Charlie McGill.
Okay, everybody, I don't have a good voice, but happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Charlie. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, okay, Nick, open your wallets.
Get the money out so I can tell where to go. Maybe I'll friend here.